working on our middle back flexibility and our shoulder flexibility, as well as our ability to stabilize our shoulder blades against our rib cage when we are moving our arms and our shoulder joints is very, very important. It's important for the health of your neck. It's important for even your lower back. So focusing on your shoulder girdle is extremely important. And once you've gone through the flexibility programming for the chest and underneath the shoulder, as well as the thoracic spine, your middle back, then you can start working on phasing into this section that I call wall slides. And each of this portion can be broken down as a segment to be done within itself. So you are going to find your starting point and you are going to work through this exercise, taking it step by step and treating each step as if it's an exercise within itself, okay? So first thing we want to do is sit up against a flat wall. If you have hip pain or a hip replacement or any difficulty doing this leg positioning that I'm going to show you, make sure that you use things like yoga blocks under your thighs, rolled up blankets or towels under your legs to support you so that there's not so much pressure there. You can also choose to crisscross your legs if you would like. But the most challenging way, and to get the most out of the exercise, ideally we will put the bottom of our feet together and then we will pull our legs, our feet as close into us as we can. And then you're going to put your hands on the floor and then scooch yourself tight to the wall. So the base of your spine, your sacrum, should be touching. Your lower back muscles should be touching. And then your middle back and back of your head. So again, if you're not able to do this with the legs and your hip positioning or your knees, just make sure that you're using something either blocking under the thighs to lift them up. You can have the legs out a little bit further. You can crisscross here and then use something to bolster the knees, okay? So just find a way that you can comfortably open up the inner thigh and scoot yourself back up to the wall. So now what we're going to do is get into our position. And so for this position for many people is very challenging, and particularly when you have a very tight upper back. What we're going to do here is, while I have all points in contact with the wall, I naturally feel a very gentle draw in and engagement of my transverse abdominis, which is that belly button and below, that inner, that deep core. It's very important that we learn how to engage. So if this is very challenging for you, or you're stuck with your head off of the wall because there's so much tightness in your upper back, you're going to work on pressing through the upper back and the back of your head, which will provide you a stretch to much of the fascia that are around your neck and shoulder girdle and upper back. And you're going to hold, even if it needs to be isometric contractions, for a 10-second hold and then release, and then you can press against that for 10 seconds and then release. But if you are able to get your head back against the wall, even if it's challenging with your chin down, this doesn't count, then you're going to hold this position. If this feels doable, it should be challenging, but okay, then we can see if your shoulders will tolerate the range of motion. So now what we're going to do is actually put our arms up in this goal post position. So when you put your arms up in this position, you want everything to maintain contact against the wall. Sometimes you got to do a little shuffle to get your shoulder blades in a better position on the wall, but your lower back muscles should be touching, and you should feel that transverse abdominis engage even more. And that's one of the reasons why I love this exercise. It gets your whole foundational core system engaged along your spine. So if this is okay, and so the back of my hands and my elbows, everything is touching the wall. If your shoulder rotation is very tight and your hands are forward like this, you do not want to be raising your arms up in the air. This is where injury occurs in the shoulder. So if that is not possible for you due to tightness, then what you want to do is actually bring your elbow off of the wall so that your elbow is underneath your wrist. And you can either perform the exercise in this position, or you can do isometric contractions again, trying to press the arm together as a unit against the wall. So now you're able to get into this position. Even though it's challenging, it's doable. And so what we're going to do now is actually blow out and raise our arms up, making sure everything remains in contact. And you will feel as you raise those arms up, there'll be muscles around your shoulder blades and upper back, actually around the bra line, and your transverse abdominis will engage even more. And then we're going to slide the arms down. Elbows should go a little bit below the shoulder joint. And blow out as we press up. Feel that engagement of our core and all around our shoulder blades and our upper back. So this exercise is great. As we work through the phases of the movement, you are improving fascial and muscle tightness in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the lower back, and hips. And this is a great way now to stabilize and turn on that core and learn to use that motion better. If you find, as you're raising up, that your shoulders are raising up here, you want to make sure that those tops of the shoulders are staying down. And you're only going to move through the range of motion that you can do perfectly. We want to do perfect practice so that we engage the muscular relationships in the right way, and that helps us to build and change our pattern more efficiently.